Emotions like anger, sadness, lust can steal your clarity and focus as a man without warning. But what if there was a way to feel these emotions without letting them control you? Well, it exists. In this video is exactly what I'm going to be breaking down today. In this video, I'll break down the exact steps to harness it quickly so your emotions become fuel instead of obstacles. Let's get into it. There was a point in my life where I felt like being emotionally vulnerable and being emotionally available was the strong thing to do, and maybe even the brave thing to do. But there was a single experience in my life that single-handedly shattered that belief for me and helped me learn the exact concept I'm going to teach today. The part that bothers me the most is that it took this long for me to learn it because it almost costed me my entire life. Before I was with the woman I am currently with, the woman that I am married to, I had an ex, and I was in a relationship with that ex for 3 years. For the sake of her privacy and my privacy, I guess, we're gonna call her Jessica. I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. I really thought it was love. My foolish fresh into high school me thought that I found the one, you know? Me and her liked each other in 7th grade, but life pulled us apart because I had to move and she had to stay, but then we magically connected again. I thought it was love. And I started listening to all the feminist advice of open up to her, share your anxieties, share your worries, share how you're sad. And so when I was jealous of something, when I felt like I didn't like something she was doing, or when I was just anxious about my life or sad about my life, or when I was struggling with that habit and just couldn't control myself, I would open everything up to her because I thought this was the right thing to do. And at first, she actually dealt with it. She actually comforted me through it, quote unquote. She would, be there for me when I was sad. She would listen to my worries, I thought. She would try to comfort me through my problems. And so I thought this was love. The people were right. There's no need to be toxically masculine. You can open up and share all your emotions, and you can be an emotional man. But a couple months in, and especially after 2, 3 years in, the patience started to fade. She was really sick of me complaining so much. She was openly asking me to handle my emotions better. It got to a point that every time I would open up, she would pull away. She would respect me less. She would make more jokes at my expense in public. And she would just want to hang out less every single time I opened up. And then this is the crazy part. She started going insane, talking literally insane, like mentally insane. They had her on a therapist, and the therapist was telling her that all the issues in her life were my fault. All the issues in her life was because she decided to get into a relationship that's too serious too early, that she needed to go out and explore her options, explore different environments, go to different colleges, and meet new friends that have more fun and party. They started brainwashing her with all the stupid shit you see women being brainwashed with nowadays, and she fell for it. And I was the butt end of this insanity. It got to a point, to keep a long story short, that I was 16, being sentenced to court, and if I didn't appear, I was either going to be sent to jail or have to pay $10,000 fine. It got to a point where I had to deal with restraining orders, court fees, the police calling me, the police showing up to my door. All of this happened because I was emotional. Because as a man, I couldn't control my feelings and my reactions. So the first step I took in my life to try to fix how badly my emotions raged and how emotional I was is that I literally just sat there and I asked myself, and I started doing some digging into history, into my own psychology, into just overall the study of psychology, into what I believed as a person, my actions, habits. I started digging through countless books, countless podcasts, countless videos, countless articles, countless studies, just trying to find an answer to one singular question. What is the cause behind how emotional the average man is? Something is off with the average man. You can just feel it, and you probably feel it within yourself. See, after all my digging into myself and into how men used to be and how men are now and everything, I've realized that there's a sickness spreading through men, like a virus being shared from one man to another, from one generation to another. And if we don't fix it, if we don't talk about it, which no one is, it's going to destroy us. See, ancient men didn't live like this. They weren't obsessing over how they felt. They weren't emotional wrecks walking through life looking for validation. They didn't crumble when a woman gave them a cold look. They weren't unable to make eye contact. They didn't spiral over a breakup like I did. Then comes modernity. Then comes the modern day brainwashing. And even if you don't care about the stuff, stick through it because I need to tell you it to make a point. We were raised by school systems designed to punish masculine energy and reward obedience. We were handed iPads instead of tools and challenges, feelings instead of frameworks and solutions. All of this is to feed you one idea since your birth. Your emotions are truth. Sensitivity is strength. Masculinity, your very existence, is toxic. This is the cancer. And it's got a name. I call it the feminine frame of authority. This is the mental operating system most men are running on today, and they don't even know it. It tells you to feel before you act, to seek comfort before clarity, to over-communicate instead of lead. It has you reacting to life like a storm, not standing like a mountain. But there is one singular solution. Because here's the question. Before men operated from a feminine frame of authority, what did they operate on? And how can we go back to that? And what would happen if we did? The answer to those three questions is the same exact answer. The answer to those three questions is exactly how you escape. And that answer is you rebuild your frame. Now, for those who don't know, what is frame? Frame is the invisible structure behind everything you think, say, and do. It's the reality you operate from, the psychological architecture that governs how you respond to pressure, how you interpret emotions, how you carry yourself through chaos, how you do anything. Your frame is the energetic boundary, the wall that tells the world, this is who I am, this is how I move. There's a lot of men out there in this world, and all the men you look up to, whoever they may be, they probably have this. They probably have this frame in one way or another. And that's why you look up to them. Frame inspires respect in anyone, both men and women. And it's also what you need to go out there and actually be a man of God. Because you are going to get attacked left, right, and center. With every single type of armory and bullet the devil has, he will shoot at you. And if you don't have that frame, you don't have that wall of defense, you will crumble. You will fail and you will get broken over and over again. And that's what you're feeling. So how do we break the feminine frame and actually install this masculine frame? Simple. The first thing you need to do is rebuild your life around order. Masculine energy thrives in structure. So you need to build structure into your life. Set your wake time. Build your work hours. Cut the dopamine. Decide what you do, not how you feel. You need a rhythm if you're going to build frame. Second, practice silence daily. Now, meditation, silence. No music, no screens, no distractions. Let your mind get bored. Let emotions rise and don't react. This builds internal space, the foundation of emotional control. React less. If you are texting someone, cut your sentences down by 80%. If you're in a conversation, talk 80% less than what you usually would. It sounds like a huge number, but this is exactly what I did when I wanted to install this reactionless mindset into my life, and it worked. Do everything you think of doing, 80% less. Push your edge every single day. You have to constantly push yourself in life. If you're not constantly pushing past your edge, your limits, mentally, physically, emotionally, all of it, then you simply will not be a man. You won't build that frame. Suffering builds that frame. Because when you don't want to work out for an hour, but you really have to, there's nothing in this world that is going to get you to do that workout other than God and your frame. When you force yourself to do hard things, when you push past your edge, the only thing you're gonna fall back into, the only thing you can use to get yourself to do it is your frame. And so by pushing past your edge, you build reliance on that frame, on that new way of living. Because if you relied on the feminine frame to work out, you wouldn't work out. Get back to prayer and only rely on God. Cut out any reliance on other people. Your wife is not your therapist. Your best friend is not your therapist. The people around you are not your therapist. The internet friends you have are not your therapist. The people in your Discord are not your therapist. We're not here to console you. We can't drag you out of bed and get you to work, but God can do amazing things. And everything we should do is for God. So get back to prayer. Make him the cornerstone of your mindset. If you're going to cry to someone, cry to God. If you're going to vent out your anger to someone, vent it to God. Don't rely on people. Rely on the person who made you. Rely on the only person who can fix it in the first place. If you do these things and you constantly focus on doing them better, reacting less, working harder, praying more, having more order, having a better rhythm, if you do all of these things, consistently getting better at them, and you keep trying to say goodbye to that feminine frame, you understand that the feminine frame of life is destroying your life, and you build the masculine frame, I promise you, controlling your emotions won't be so hard anymore.